Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Jennifer Belanger, Community Sales Manager for Laban Homes, and today I'm here with a good friend of mine, Colin Smith with DLC Regional Mortgage. How are you, Colin?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here today.
Right on.
Colin, can you give us a little bit of background into your history?
Sure. I've been doing the mortgage specialist thing for just 15 years now. I started with Bank of Montreal, I spent 9 years there. I was the first mortgage specialist hired by them in Red Deer. And then I just thought that the broker world was kind of a better place for me just because I had more lenders, more options for my clients. And so I made the switch about 5 years ago and haven't looked back since.
So tons and tons of history of kind of both sides.
Yeah, I've seen both sides, the bank side for sure, and the goods and bads of that, and then the struggles and the good and bad of the broker side.
Different
for sure.
markets.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Well, today what we're going to talk about is a question actually of mine is the stress test. As most of us know, there was a lot of changes that kind of happened last year, and Colin is here to kind of explain what the stress test is and kind of walk us through how it affects each of us in a mortgage. So Colin, what exactly is a stress test?
The stress test, it came out in its original form in October, I believe, of this past October. It's mandated by the federal government, and their idea was to make sure that Canadians can afford houses kind of now and as rates kind of increase. And so they've changed the way we qualify for mortgages. Even though your rate might be, say, 2.6%, for example, they make you qualify at 4.64. They're thinking rates are at historic lows, which they are, and if they go up, they want to make sure that people can stay in their homes and that there's not any foreclosures and things like that. So the interesting thing is now that they've done it, it's only for insured mortgages, but they're going to kind of change that as we go along as well.
So what exactly is an insured mortgage?
An insured mortgage, it's any mortgage where you put a down payment of less than 20%. So you're going through CMHC or one of the other mortgage insurers out there. And so that stress test is kind of designed for that. But coming up, we're not sure exactly when, probably before the fall, they're going to increase the stress test two ways. One, for all Canadians that are buying houses, no matter what the down payment is, you'll qualify at a higher rate. And they've just increased that rate from 4.64 to 4.84 just recently.
So if I'm getting this correctly, basically the goal of the stress test is to ensure that people are buying a home that they can afford. So if the mortgage rates were to go up at any point, they know that they still would qualify and would be comfortable within that point.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Rates are just so darn low, like even this spring, like I was saying, rates are around 2.3, 2.4%. They're historically low, and so the government, just in an effort to kind of keep foreclosures down, which they're not high, but they just kind of want to make sure that they're not. They're just making us qualify higher.
So just protection.
That's right. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because people, a lot of people think it's an aggressive stress test. You know, It could have been just a little bit above what their contract rate is, but so it's made the numbers a little bit tight on some deals and, added in some frustration as well.
So I think a key piece to this is if somebody was approved a year ago, then they basically have to come back in and get reapproved because their numbers would have changed, correct?
Yeah, exactly. If you've been approved or pre-approved more or less like a year ago, you would have been at your contract rate, which could have been 2.4 or something like that. And now when we're testing you at 4.84, the amount that you could qualify for and buy at are definitely going to be changed. So you'll want to go in and see your bank or your broker or whoever you're dealing with just to kind of make sure that everything's proper.
So would you say with all of this happening that now is a good time to buy a house?
I still think it is a good time to buy, and I'll tell you why. I think that rates are still historically low. We're doing 5-year rates, under 3% still. There's lots of great inventory out there, as you know, and we're just not sure how many more stress tests or little things that the government is going to do to kind of protect us, so to speak. So I think, and in addition to that, our economy has kind of picked back up, as you know. So I do believe that it's a decent time to buy right now.
Awesome. For anyone who's interested in learning more about mortgages or the stress test, I'll put a link below to Cullen's site. Definitely contact him. I've used Cullen for years with many of my customers, and he's been absolutely amazing, right? Taking it to the step where he comes through and tours the house with the homeowners sometimes. Never seen that ever happen before, so definitely a great guy to contact. Thanks for coming, Cullen.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Tune in again.